Hi everybody, welcome to this quick 9 playthrough for the date that is now displayed on the screen. Remember to check the tournament times so that you have time to play all of your holes. Please hit thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Timestamps for all the holes in the video description down below. Bear in mind these are general wind conditions you will need to tweak according to the directions you face in the quick 9. And remember, some of these are old replays, so feature the old ball attribute levels. Good luck, here we go. In tailwind, we're going with top spin and right spin, and I would recommend you play for the furthermost island in the lake. You can go down the right-hand side, but the trees are going to be in the way, and really we want a nice, easy eagle. So stretching out to find my position, I've added my spin. I like the Titan here. It gives me an extra bit of wind push if you're playing in pro. In expert, you probably want to keep the wind between 7 and 9, so I'd go with a kingmaker. Max plus 10. Then I'm going to push up 2.5 rings based on what I was stretching out to find my landing spot. And I'm going with half wall curl to the right just to bring myself in nicely towards the green. We bounce comfortably on the middle of the pad or thereabouts, not risking the edges of the water. And we are getting almost to the fringe for a very easy chip. You've got headwind though. You can still make it to the green. You will need a driver with topspin. In my instance here, it's going to be Thor's Hammer level 6. You could use the big topper if you've got a lower count, but I would recommend you go with a higher powered ball. Otherwise, you will need overpower, and it's never good to be overpowering the big topper. So adding spin, bouncing on the edge of the middle pad, once again adjusting max plus 10, takes me into overpower, so I'm going to add 1 or 2 rings on to what I'm adjusting into, depending on my club, because we also adjust down to a lower point. So make sure you've got enough overpower on this one. 3 rings, still going to be fine to hit perfect. Minor great left, minor great right, both fine with this club. And the topspin takes us very nicely, comfortably into wedge range. So we've got to get an eagle, regardless of the wind. Got 2 approaches to show you. We're very close with this one. Headwind, I do favour the Guardian, to be honest, because otherwise you may be adjusting into overpower with the sniper, depending where you set up. So my bounce point here, exactly more or less halfway between the bunkers there. Obviously, Guardian, different levels can have different ring sizes. But I'm going with a couple of bars of backspin, aiming at the pin as best I can with this ball guide. My adjustment here with the Titan is max plus 40. So it's a pretty hefty adjustment here. I did try a couple of shots with the sniper, but it was bouncing very short. So I had to switch to Guardian here. We do hit perfect, so max plus 40 is the adjustment. Look, it bounces exactly where we're aiming, but just comes in a fraction too hot. So a couple of clicks more backspin, and we'll get that one in the hole in a direct headwind scenario. Second example here, we have cross tailwind, so I'm going to be using the sniper, and my setup reference here is the red ring at plus 2 yards. So that's where I'm going to be looking to set up pretty much most of my sniper shots, so that I can just tweak spin. I do believe this is a good landing position. And you'll see here 3.2 backspin, 0.8 bar side spin to the left, aim at the pin. And the adjustment here is mid plus 25. Little bit tricky to zoom in here because of the angle of the camera, but you just do what you can. Like I said, the red ring at plus 2 is the reference here. This is sniper 8, but that will of course have to be tweaked if you have different level of sniper. And look at this, very nicely there for a hole in one. 4.5 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left. We have a hint of tailwind here, but it's predominantly crosswind. Red ring touching the rough on the left at max with the power 3 ball. Max plus 20 is the adjustment. Here what I needed to do, which I didn't, was I should have pushed up 2 or 3 yards because we do drop to a slightly lower point. Half wall curl to the left, and we are hitting perfect. Obviously, if you have wind pushing the other direction, you will need to adapt the curl a little bit. We only just made it across, which is why I said there I should have pushed up a little bit. We do have plenty of room. Bowl-shaped fairway is going to keep the ball in play unless you hit a horrendous great left or great right. Second shot, play true club distance plus 10% elevation. There is a sticky spot here. I did spend quite a bit of time trying to find it, but didn't quite get there. So in the end, I played this one, I think 85 to 90% slider plus 10. Problem I had here with the spins I had on, I didn't leave the ball guide short enough of pin. So we do come in a little bit on the hot side, which is going to happen with the design of the fairway and the green. So narrow miss to the right, but still a very, very good chance. True club distance plus 10 is what I would recommend. Hole number 2, as long as we don't have predominantly tailwind, I am going to play with the sniper, and I'm going to go with the backspin approach. 2 bars right spin, between 5.5 and 6.5 bars of backspin depending on the wind. Here it is all about trying to catch a mini funnel towards the pin from the slope, top right corner of the green as we look. What I don't do here though, need to do more of, is anticipate the second bounce wind effect. We do miss this one to the left. The adjustment I make here is mid-distance 20% elevation. We do have a more headwind, I would be playing maximum numbers instead. So mid plus 20, and we do get the general idea of it here with a perfect ball. However, this is one where I think a token would be good, just to see how much offset you are going to need. As you can see, we do come in too far to the left here, so we either go with more adjustment or we go with more offset to begin with. If we just aim that one more square to the right, we're going to be very close indeed. Going with the big topper to get some distance on the drive. We do have cross headwind here, so I'm sticking with the Titan. Max top spin, a little bit of side spin to the right. Adjustment here, max plus 10. Takes us into overpower, so I am using a couple of rings of overpower as well. Perfect away, and we want to be in thorn range here, if at all possible. Bounces over very nicely. We could have given it a little bit more overpower, but also I don't want to roll too long either. I do maybe think another ring would have been nice though. 384 yards. From here, again, we have a thorn shot. Luckily, the wind angle is such that we can adjust. We may have to rethink if we do get direct headwind here about our setup. But here I'm absolutely at max, so I'm going with a couple of bars of backspin, aiming at the pin, and from this point I play 20% elevation. So if you're going right side, play it minus 10, but from left side, because it's downhill, we're going max plus 20. So we're adjusting those rings. As you can see, we are just on the max line, but we are okay. So I can take a standard shot here, and we get a perfect ball, and bounces very, very nicely and gets in for a lovely eagle from the left hand side as well. So 2 approaches there, depending on what the wind angle's doing for hole number 5. There is an aggressive route down the left hand side, but you need a lot of distance and top spin. So in the majority of cases, I would play here on the right hand side. 4.5 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left. If you have more top spin available and headwind angle, then obviously that will help a lot. So basically APOC 5 plus. But if not, crosswind and tailwind you can get over with a lower level extra mile. Adjust max plus 10. Here I'm pushing up as well. After I adjust, I push up 1 ring just to make sure I gain some distance on the drive, because I want to attempt an aggressive shot for the approach. Perfect ball away, and we want to approach the top left corner of the second piece of fairway. There you can see we're bouncing comfortably away from any of the rough, and the top spin takes us along here towards the top corner. Drive distance 372 yards. Second shot is all about getting the spin correct and trying to find a funnel. The more right you go from the pin, the more increasing your chances of finding the funnel. If you go straight at it, there seems to be less room for error, but you can see there's quite a wide section there where the tip of the ball guide doesn't really move. I can adjust kind of half a ring at least either side with my landing spot, and that ball guide isn't moving at all. So it's all about adding spin. We're going to need left spin regardless. Here, because the wind is pushing me left to right, I intentionally leave the ball guide to the left of the cup. This is something, once you know the tournament wind conditions, you're going to have to just take a token or 2 and dial in if you're creating shots yourself. But I'm playing true club distance, 10% elevation on this one. So TC on the notepad, true club plus 10. So have a look at your landing position plus yards if you can. If not, you're going to have to do a different distance check, but a good consistent drive will get you in plus yards for the rough bump, and it catches the slope very nicely and sneaks in for the albatross. Tailwind on this hole means we can go aggressively and get to green. We're going with 4.5 top spin, 2 bars right spin. I would recommend you play with a berserker to remove the need of excessive overpower. Stretching out there with extra mile 8, and I can just see the third bounce just going into the far side of the bunker, and that's because the tailwind is going to push the ball guide on more than it is shown. So I let my target fall back to max rest. Then I'm going to adjust max plus 10 power 5 numbers, and I'm going to do a small push up here, and I'm pushing up by 3 rings, and that's based on the amount I'm estimating I need when I was stretching out my target. Obviously the top spin will vary. If you have a much stronger tailwind, then you will need to dial the top spin back slightly or do less push up. It's one of those you need to just take a token or two and get some tweaks, but we want to bounce once on that pad, second time on that pad into the rough, and then rolling out, and maybe even getting a hole in one. So we're going to go with, in this wind angle, a little bit of top spin, no side spin at all, and we want to bounce on the middle part of that first island where the ground is at its highest, because then we're going to get a consistent bounce. If we bounce too far toward the tee, or indeed too far towards the end of that, you're going to be bouncing on a slope. So try and find a consistent spot. Add the spin. In here I've got a little bit of tailwind, so I'm leaving that ball guide a little bit short and also a smidgen to the right of the pin. But obviously this will vary depending on your wind angle. If you've got headwind, you want to be setting up with more topspin and the ball guide through the hole. 1-to-1 is the adjustment that is the same as mid plus 10 power 3 with sniper 10 numbers, so 7.1 in wind, going with 7.1 rings. Obviously wind angle, wind strength going to have a factor as well, but this is the type of shot we want to be playing. Aim as best you can. We like the ball guide of the sniper, and the bounce over there gets us nicely for a hole in one. So for this one I'm going actually with a berserker, because it is a real effort to get over there even with a power 3 ball. So max top spin once again, 2 bars of side spin to the left, stretching out to find my position once again, adjusting max plus 10, and I'm going to push up to max if I can. Got to go with a lot of overpower. In fact, this is full overpower here, and you can see the inner wall of the ball there, the right edge touching the inner wall of the adjustment ring to the left. So a good amount of curl. Again, a very, very safe bounce point there for the first shot, and then that rolls for a decent distance. I'm playing this one here, true club distance 0%. Now I estimate this to be mid distance, but we do misadjust this one slightly. Rough bump, very, very good in crosswind. Obviously if you do have tailwind, you are going to be adjusting down into the bunker, so we may need to use some pull angle there, or push up slightly to account for the lack of distance. So I'm going mid plus 0 here, using the Grizzly for the ball guide. Obviously if your drive is short, you might want to be looking at the Goliath as well. It will help once we know the wind angles throughout next week. Hitting this one very nicely with a perfect. Bounce is a little bit on the high side in the rough, so maybe a small correction needed there. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.